Before we get into the topic of today's video, I just want to say that these are my own personal opinions and theories. You guys are welcome to disagree. Also, remember to pull for characters that you like. I don't normally make videos like these, so let me know if you guys want more videos like these or not. Thank you. Honkai Star Rail has had a lot of controversies in the past, with caches very likely being the biggest controversy to date. I have seen multiple people talking about wanting to drop the game, and a lot of big creators expressing their dissatisfaction over her kit. Initially, when her kit leaked months ago, she was introduced with a global passive, and it is this global passive that has ignited a fire in the community since then. In my opinion, reviving allies as a global passive is not as strong as some people might think. The only real use for me personally I could see would be somewhere in like simulated universe at a high conundrum level, or when I'm doing a sustainless run. The main issue with it is the actual introduction of global passives themselves. Adding new abilities to characters inherently isn't a bad thing. New abilities offer a new way of making characters stronger outside of just buffing their stats and percentages. It starts to become an issue when the global passive also affects other characters, especially when the character with the global passive isn't designed to buff other characters. A good example of this would be like a DPS character. Depending on the effects that global passives will have, it could force players to summon for characters that they might not want, or will have to be forced to skip a character that they like in order to pull for the global passive character. In the future, I could see them adding global passives that give crit rate or damage to all allies, or adding respen to all allies. Some other global passives could be specific to certain paths or certain attack archetypes. For example, a global passive could give increased damage to break damage, or increase damage to follow-up attacks, meaning that if you want to get the most out of these damage archetypes, you would have to summon for those characters with global passives that affect those teams. Not only could global passives force players to pull for them, it could also put characters without a global passive at a disadvantage, since they don't have the support capabilities that a global passive character would have. I also think that the base gameplay of Star Rail has played a role in this, with only 3 buttons mainly being basic attack, skill, and ultimate in the game. I feel like they could have introduced more variety into the gameplay instead of just increasing numbers with every new character. Characters do have techniques that can manipulate the actual combat, such as allowing some characters to start with their passive already up, such as Ranmei or Huohuo. A core staple of most turn-based RPGs is the multiple options in combat, such as the ability to block attacks, cast spells, or use items in combat. And I think that the lack of options in the combat system has forced developers to make unit kits more interesting as a way to change up or spice up the combat, in this case with global passives, and with casters being the fact that you can revive fallen allies while you're in combat. There is a chance that in the future bosses could disable global passes, which should be interesting to see, but at the end of the day, I think global passes are only going to be a problem for meta players. Players who play the game casually or don't care about the end game probably don't have to worry about this. We are getting 30 pulls for the anniversary, and there is a chance that only anniversary characters have global passives, so players do have a good chance to at least get cash risk and save up for the next global passive character. The conversation of power creep only seems to be getting worse with every new update and new character introduction. I do hope that Hoyo tones it down with the character kits, but it does look very unlikely that that will happen. What do you guys think about the caster's passive? Are people overreacting? Is Star Rail turning to the dark side? Personally, for me, I will be pulling caster's. I really like her design, and the dragon memo sprite seems pretty cool. Hoyo seemed really adamant about keeping the global passives throughout her early kit designs. Her kit had a lot of changes from what I've seen, and the one thing that didn't change was the fact that she had a global passive. So it's very likely that we could get more of these global passives in the future. Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.